Let's do a book tag. Hi guys, my name is Trinity. If you're here to see me do the I Know What You Read Last Summer book tag, thanks to Nala because she tagged me in this. And I am kind of excited because I love book tags. I love talking about books that I love. And sometimes I like talking about books that I don't like too. But I really love doing these tag videos because you guys get to see my reading tastes. And, you know, I think that the tag videos are kind of overlooked, but you guys don't realize what kind of recommendations you can get from watching these tag videos. So let's go through the prompts and figure out what books speak to me. All right, prompt number 1, because these are prompts, not questions. Final Girl, a book with a strong female protagonist. Okay, here we go. Nevernight, Nevernight. Mia is one of my favorite characters of all times. Now, I could also say No Land for Heroes. We have Millie. I love her. She's kind of catching up to Mia. But I absolutely love both Nevernight and No Land for Heroes. I think that the female characters in these are so amazing. Now, Mia, she watches her whole family die and decides that she's not going to take it from the authority figures who put her family in this position, and she's going to fight back. So she joins a group of assassins and goes through assassin training, all so she can get her revenge on the people who hurt her and her family. And it's an excellent series. Jay Kristoff's writing is pretty flowery, so if that's not your thing, also takes on the edgelord type of writing, so there's a lot of people who don't like that. But Cal Black, her writing is very accessible, and I do love her characters so much. She has a little bit of a fan fiction-y writing style, and I appreciate that a lot because I really loved fan fiction growing up. But I do think her plot holds up. I do think that her characters hold up. And Millie, she is an elf who kind of has had a dark past, and she's trying to escape that past, but there's a train robbery that happens at the very beginning of this that kind of launches her back into her past, and she has to deal with all of her PTSD and the things that she walked away from. So I think it's really great. Highly, highly recommend both No Land for Heroes and Nevernight. Popcorn, a book you couldn't put down or stop reading. My dog. Oh Lord, you guys. He's making lots of noise today. So a book I couldn't put down that I recently read, I have to give it to Fourth Wing, guys. I know you guys keep hearing a lot about this book and you're like, can we stop talking about it? But I couldn't put it down. It was too dang good. I read it in 24 hours. It's a pretty thick book. It was great. And I think you guys should all pick it up. Only if you like romance though, because if you're not into romance, obviously it's not going to work for you. Ticket, name the book that introduced you to your favorite genre. So, okay, I have to go with R.L. Stein's either Fear Street or Goosebumps. I don't remember what I read first, but if you guys didn't know, my favorite genre is actually horror. And I grew up reading Fear Street, reading the Goosebumps series, Vampire Kisses. Like, there's a lot of stuff I grew up reading, but I would only touch horror for the longest time. There was no other genre in existence to me. And it took me a really long time to actually pick up something else to read outside of that. And that actually came in high school when one of my teachers introduced me to Barbara Kingsolver and the Bean Trees. And then I kind of went the literary route and got an English degree. And it wasn't until about 10 years ago that I actually started reading fantasy. So my actual favorite genre is horror, but that's how I got started there in my favorite genre. Outdoor cinema. Name a book that has the best book to film adaptation. Best book to film adaptation. I have to go with Harry Potter. I know there's a lot left out in the final books of the series that didn't make it into the movie. And I know there's a lot that got left out of Hermione's storyline. But as far as like best adaptation that stayed pretty true to what the novels gave us, I have to go with Harry Potter. Hands down. The movie. A movie that you are too scared to watch, that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. I love scary movies, and I don't think there's one that I wouldn't watch because I was scared. Now, some of them I won't watch because they're gross, and it grosses me out. Like, I'm not scared, but I'm like, ugh, that's nasty. Why do I want to see that? But I've watched everything from Saw to Tales from the Crypt. Demon Knight used to be one of my favorite movies growing up. Like, I just, there are so many that I've watched, and I don't really get scared. So, not from that stuff anyways. There are some things that like in life scare me, but scary movies, you're not gonna do it. Summer Lovin', have me a blast. Let's go Grease here. Summer Lovin', a book recommendation for the summer. I read dark fantasy, guys. What am I supposed to say? The Black Tongue Thief. Sure, let's go with that. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's a quick read. Dark fantasy and horror. What do you read in the summer? Black Tongue Thief. Foundry Side, maybe? You could probably get away with Foundry Side. That's a pretty fun read too. But other than that, I really don't know. I really don't know. Asking the gothic horror girl to recommend a summer read. Sure. Scythe Assassin, a villain you'd love to interview. I've said this a million times, that, you know, it would be scary to interview a villain. Do you really want to sit down with a villain? I don't think you do. But if it was going to be any of them, it would be Loki. I love Loki. Would he make me his slave? Maybe. But, I mean, it's Loki, and I love him. The Group of Friends, a book with the worst friend group. Worst friend group. I don't know. See, I love love. So if it has a bad friend group, I'm probably DNFing it. What book did I DNF because of this? I don't know. I guess A Lesson in Vengeance would probably be any dark academia, really. Any dark academia, your friend group is probably trash, which is why I don't like it. But A Lesson in Vengeance is the one that I read all the way through and actually did enjoy, even though the friend group was kind of crap. So let's just go with that. And of course, your last DNF. My last DNF would be Until the Last by Mike Shackle, and I'm sad about it because I loved the series up until about midway through the third book, and I put it down. And I was like, okay, this is not for me, and that's okay, even though it made me really sad. Summer Party, a book with the worst party in it. Worst party. I mean, wouldn't you have to go with the Red Wedding from A Song of Ice and Fire? I mean, that would have to be it, right? That's the worst party you can imagine. Or the prom in Carrie. That's about all I've got for that. We have a secret. A character that talks too much. Okay, I love this character. Absolutely love this character. But Kit from Burning Blade and Silver Eye. Kit from Burning Blade and Silver Eye definitely talks too much. But it's hilarious, and I love them, her. I like she's so funny. And every time she's on page, I laugh, even though, yes, Kit does talk too much. Cabin in the Woods, best setting for a book. It is funny that Nala tagged me in this because I saw her say Small Favors by Erin A. Craig, and I was like, oh, we have the same answer. We have the same answer. And she got that book recommendation from me. So it's like full circle here. I love Small Favors. If you like gothic horror, I highly recommend Erin A. Craig. And this one has such a creepy atmosphere. I know the book is actually like really pretty, but it's this small town that is tucked away in the woods, kind of like M. Night Shyamalan type of story. And there are creatures in these woods, and it's just so creepy and atmospheric. And I love the dark forest. Like, one of my favorite horror novels of all time is The Ritual by Adam Neville. But if you give me a creepy forest, I actually really love that about Uprooted too. Creepy forest setting will get to me. And it doesn't have to always be creepy. I do love Sarah Beth Durst. I can't remember the name of the series, but I'll put a picture of the first book. I love a forest setting. I love it so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just think that when you have things set in the forest, it evokes such strong atmosphere and emotion, and like just it could be creepy, isolated, just it evokes all of those feelings, and I like that. I really like that. Friday the 13th, a book that traumatized you. I I don't know. A book that made me cry and I refuse to read anything else from this author? No, I want to read more from Sarah Chorn, but Of Honey and Wildfires, I told her she made me cry too much, and I don't like to cry, and that even though I want to read all of her books, it's not likely that I'm going to pick them up anytime soon because I don't want to cry. But Of Honey and Wildfires, I bawled. It's beautiful, and it gets me straight in the feels. And so I want to read The Necessity of Rain so bad, but I've already heard everyone is saying, oh my gosh, it killed me. So I'm like, do I really want to read it? So I don't know about traumatized, but really made me cry. Like, I have to give it to Sarah Chorn. And the final thing is to tag some booktubers, but I don't know who all has done this. So I'm going to say Christopher Navo. I don't think he's done this one yet, but there's a good chance he's been tagged before. I will tag Matt over at Beard of Darkness Book Reviews. And Tori from Tori Talks if she has not yet done this video, because I don't know who else has done it yet, but I'm just going to throw it out there in case she hasn't done it yet. All right, that's it for my video today. Like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.